the whole debate. Have you ever wondered why the richest state in the United States like California, New York, and Washington are all blue? Why the richest companies in the United States like Microsoft, Google, and BlackRock are all blue, even with Republican economic rhetoric? Because social welfare programs and pro-immigration policy feed corporations billions of dollars every single year. The idea that a leftist American party is somehow anti-corporations and bad for corporations is factually wrong. I want to note, opening debate talks about ideology, we say fuck ideology. Because ideology is ever-changing. Because you cannot predict the ideological preferences for 7 million people who will decide the vote for American election with high certainty. In their side of the house, they explain, our ideology will be this, but you cannot predict what the ideology will be bought by people in the next 4 years. They say that their ideology will succeed because Trump will fail, but you cannot predict Trump's failure. Biden's failure was highly contributed to the appearance of COVID-19, which is highly unpredictable at all. Any debate in this room that talks about ideology will not be proven with 100% certainty, not even one. The only certain point in this debate that is going to be winning is money, is propaganda.
Here.
What is the key in winning the 2028 election? I tell to you. The reason Trump won the previous election was because Trump had the strong contribution of identity in propaganda. He was able to use his identity without a lot of money because his image was in everybody's face, because he was a meme, because he was a persona. This does not exist in the 2028 election. There is no strong Republican candidate for the 2028 election. There is no strong Democratic candidate for the 2028 election. Given this fact, the candidate that will win the 2028 election is the candidate that will have enough money to feed you the most amount of propaganda down your throat, that is able to feed you the most amount of advertisements in front of you, that is able to replicate Cambridge Analytica back in 2028. This is only able to be done with billions and billions of dollars. I'm going to explain to you why far-left ideology supports billions and billions of dollars. Context. This is not a knife against Notice why. Because corporations don't listen to politician propaganda on the grassroots level. They listen to the PwC, Deloitte, and EY analysts inside of the political systems. They say to you that social welfare is a good system for your corporations, and I'm going to explain to you later why social welfare is so deemed by American corporations to the point that you say that all of our programs are going to be super left. We're going to let all the immigrants in. We're going to increase taxes. We're going to create so much social welfare programs that you're never going to have to think about working for the rest of your life. Response against notice that argument is only possible if Trump fails. Unless they're able to predict this with 100% certainty, not even in the debate. Yes.
So, not only that your opening literally says that going far left means demonizing companies. I think what that means in your side is that the companies will actively try to endorse the Republican candidate, whoever it is, even when you say that he's no longer having the charismatic presence. It's going to be more empowered in your side insofar as you're actively demonizing them.
Demonizing corporations doesn't mean that your inherent program does not work with corporations. Let me explain to you. Social welfare program of public healthcare funds private healthcare companies billions of dollars to provide this insurance for you, to provide this healthcare for you. Public transport companies funds building infrastructure companies, funds construction companies in America billions of dollars to build this public infrastructure. Funding food, funding like things like food and water for America and energy, funds private energy companies and funds private things. If you don't buy this, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, who owns 50% of American corporations and probably 20% of the entire world, is a far left guy. So why is this the case, and why are we going to win this debate? First of all, the most important thing here is to why we'll instill confidence. I'm going to explain to you why we get money and why money is going to win us the debate. First of all, like I've explained, social welfare programs are going through private corporations, right? It means private corporations like social welfare programs. Why don't they like the Republican one? Because the Republican one instills, or the Republican one helps small business owners in being able to get their own capital, right? Because you get freedom to things like corporate tax and stuff like that. This does not go into the big corporations. It means that taking a more moderate stance will just be a replication of the 2024 elections, where companies think that even if I'm pumping all of this money into them, their programs, the things and the policies that they implement will not benefit me as a multi-billion-dollar company. The only way a multi-billion-dollar company gets any certainty in funding from the government is from social welfare programs that is going to fund them billions and billions of dollars, because they understand that the tax system of America sucks out billions and billions of dollars from the people in itself. Secondly, corporations do not want to handle the health insurance and stuff like this provided by the states, right? Because corporations understand that to create your independent health insurance, that in order to create your own independent health policy, it's going to be so hard. It's better if the state is going to be able to do this. But secondly, corporations also prefer cheap labor from immigrants let in by the left, right? This is why when in 2020 we're going to say we're going to let in all of the immigrants, so you can pay them jack shit, and so you can become more rich. But what is the end goal of this argument? The end goal of this argument is you're going to get funding. Why is funding the sole winning argument of opposing government? Because when you do not have a strong identity politician, we have seen with previous elections that the strong ideology does not matter at all in elections at this era. What matters is who you see most in TikTok, who you see most in social media, who you see most in the billboards, who you see most in the newspapers. Do you know how you get access to this? Through billions of dollars of funding from corporations that are going to support you the moment you say, we are going to make more social welfare programs to feed you this money. We are going to let all of the immigrants in so that you can have cheap labor. This means that our argument not only guarantees you something that is tangible, because their tangibility is, people will buy into my ideology, which is unclear. We're gonna get more money. More money means more likelihood of pushing whatever ideology opening wants down people's throat. This is what wins the debate. What wins the debate is not the good politic system of Anies, but it's the tarian okay gas of Prabowo.